Hello everyone, welcome to Desert Succulent. Today we're going to be featuring Graptoveria Bashful, and in Korea this is known as the Graptoveria Pinkle Ruby. It also comes in the common names of Graptoveria Pink Ruby or the Graptoveria Jujube. Itong succulent na to is characterized as having these stemless and clump-forming rosettes na yung kanyang leaves is thick, chubby, and mint green yung kanyang color if hindi pa siya na-stress. But if you would continuously expose them to the full sun, then you will be rewarded of a reddish color ng kanyang leaves. Not just the leaf margins, but entirely yung kanyang leaves would be red. Kaya if you're looking for a succulent na talagang very colorful and it would stand out in any succulent arrangement, then itong ating Bashful would be the perfect choice for you. In addition to full sun exposure, if you will also be exposing it to cool temperatures like yung ating mga Burmans here in the Philippines, then you would also expect na it will turn into this rosy pink na color. Yung kanyang rosettes would grow up to 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters in diameter. Once they mature, they will be giving us flowers in the color of pink. If you have watched yung ating succulent arrangement before, then this gonna be our update for our succulent arrangement. And syempre in the middle, we have yung ating Bashful succulent na it's really pinkish to reddish in color as of the moment. We are still struggling with our sun exposure sa ngayon, kaya we cannot really achieve yung reddish or yung full stress na color niya. And in this arrangement, we have a total of 11 different kinds of succulents, and so far, okay naman yung growth nila. They're all healthy, and in fact, most of the succulents started to produce offsets. Yung ating Bashful also, it has 1, 2, and more offsets dito sa pinakababa. As we have mentioned earlier, since they are sun-loving succulents, we need to give them yung ating sufficient sunlight, at least 5 to 6 hours of full sunlight every day. Except syempre pag masyadong mainit yung araw, especially during our dry seasons or yung ating summer months, now we need to black out the sun or move them into a shadier location. If they will not be receiving enough sunlight, the problem would be yung ating etiolation or magiging leggy siya, and that is something na hindi masyadong magandang tignan. Yung ating Bashful kasi, you could appreciate it more if compact yung kanyang rosettes, yung dikit-dikit siya na parang ganito. Kasi pag naging leggy siya, you would easily see yung kanyang stem and hindi siya masyadong magandang tignan. Another thing is that magiging ganito yung kanyang color pag lagi nga siyang nauulanan and at the same time not receiving yung ating sufficient sunlight. Greenish lang siya with the exemption na yung kanyang tips is medyo reddish. Pero if you will be comparing it dito nga sa ating arrangement na medyo reddish, you would really see and appreciate na mas maganda nga talaga pag stressed sila, unlike if they are not really that stressed. I also have here a pot of my mother succulent, and ito at saka ito nanggaling sila dito. Hindi pa natin na fully achieve yung pinaka-stress na color niya, but I'm already happy kasi talagang reddish na yung kanyang itsura, especially during daylight. And by the way, isa rin ito sa mga succulents natin na kulob. If you have watched yung ating previous vlog before about doon sa ating plastic sheet na in just 2 days nga dehydrate yung ating mga succulents, isa rin ito sa talagang naapektuhan. Medyo naka-recover na siya, pero dito sa pinakababa, you would see na kulubot pa rin siya. Hindi ko siya sinama doon sa ating mga succulents for water therapy probably in the next coming days. Isusunod ko na lang siya depending now on the outcome nung ating ginagawang vlog as of the moment. There are some parts, ayan o, talagang na-burn, na-sunburn itong part na ito. And yung mga pinakababa, nag-dry na sila. Our Bashful prefers to grow in a slightly moist na environment, and yung kanyang soil should be kept moist at least most of the time. And when we say moist, dapat hindi siya yung totally wet all the time, kasi pag masyado namang basa yung kanilang soil, then it could possibly lead to our root rot. Mapapansin niyo even here sa highland areas na pag hindi ko siya masyadong diniligan, mabilis ma-dehydrate yung kanyang bottom na leaves, and therefore I have to water them more often as compared with my other succulents. If our Bashful is planted in its own pot, then we won't be having any problem with watering it. The problem now is if they are planted in an arrangement like this, kasi syempre mabilis matuyo itong ating Anakamceros and our Bashful as compared with my other succulents. Kaya what I'm doing is pag napansin kong medyo nagkulubot na sila or dehydrated, I literally water itong area kung saan sila planted and not entirely yung buong pot. They don't really require much soil requirements for them as long as it's loose and breathable with good drainage, then yung ating Bashful would eventually survive. I'm just using yung ating typical na loam soil. Right now, I decided na lahat ng aking mga succulents would be transferred into this kind of soil. This is yung ating loam soil na something na gusto naman and suitable dito nga sa ating microclimate. But for these arrangements, again, I think I didn't use yung ating loam soil here. I made use of our DIY na soil mix. You would see I added some pumice stones. We have garden soil, vermicompost, and some rice hull, and even yung ating carbonized rice hull. Some cocoa peat as well. Probably you can just check yung ating previous vlogs about soil mix for you to better understand yung details ng ating soil mix. Grooming this specific succulent is very simple. All we need to do is just remove itong ating mga dried leaves na ito. Ayan. Mas magandang tignan yung ating mga succulents if we don't have these dried or dead leaves na nakakapit sa kanyang pinaka-stems. Even those na may mga bite marks, probably from an insect, we can remove all of those kung gusto ninyo. Propagating this succulent is also very simple kasi even if you won't be propagating them through their leaves or through stem cuttings, they will just keep on producing new offsets. Here, ayan, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan, may maliit pa doon. So this is already a clump of new offsets na literally tumubo lang siya out of nowhere from this stem. Mapapansin niyo hindi masyadong healthy na itong ating mother na plant. Look at those stems. Ang nipis niya, diba? Even this. Ayan, yan na lang yung nakakonect sa ating roots but still thriving pa rin itong ating Bashful. One of the reason kung bakit talagang kulubot siya for extended periods of time is kasi nga it's not really receiving sufficient water and nutrients from the soil. Kasi nga yung kanyang stem is not so healthy anymore. We can also propagate their leaves. Mabilis din siyang matanggal sa kanyang pinaka-stem. If, for example, you have 50 or 100 leaves, then you can just simply remove all of those leaves for you to have 100 new possible na Bashful. But for today, my main goal is to behead itong aking mother na plant kasi kawawa naman yung kanyang condition. Mukha na siyang na-ignore for a long period of time. Kaya it's about time for us to replant it. And so we already have 2, including ito. Hindi masyadong maganda yung kanyang growth. Probably because of the soil kung saan sila nakalagay. Kaya we'll give them a new soil. Ayan. So we will just air dry them for a couple of days. Then we are now ready to plant them. Ito naman, hahayaan na lang natin ito dito. We will just leave itong new offsets. And we will be expecting na new offsets would appear dito nga kung saan tayo nag-cut. We were able to cut 3 cuttings for today and we will be doing our best na magmukhang ganito kaganda yung kanilang itsura in the future. But right now, we could actually appreciate itong color na ito in contrast with the green na color ng ating Bashful. And lastly, we also need to check some pests from time to time para maiwasan natin na totally ma-infect yung ating plants, lalo na pag mga arrangements na ganito kasi pag may mealybug dyan or any pest, talagang kakalat na siya agad, affecting our entire na arrangement. And also, syempre, we need to apply some fungicides as a maintenance para maiwasan natin yung future fungal disease. And that's all for our Graptoveria Bashful. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also visit our Facebook page at Desert Succulent PH.